Hey everybody, welcome to Rock Around the Ring. I am Kid Cadet, joined always by the fantabulous Miss Sweetie, Danica, Jenelle. How you doing, girl?
Delightful. How are you?
I'm fantabulous, of course. All right, well, without any further ado, we are about to bring out our guest of honor. He is the one and only Steve Gonsalves.
Whoa.
Whoa.
How's it
How you
going?
doing, Steve? Oh,
Love that new opening.
Thank
Right?
you very much. We're very proud of it. One of our previous guests, he's in a band called Icarus Bell, and he provided us with our new intro. So, yeah, pretty awesome.
All right. Very cool.
So how have you been since the last time we've seen you? It's been a couple weeks. This is your first time here solo.
Yeah, I know it feels weird. It's a different vibe for me. Usually I have someone else to bounce things off of. Well, I guess both times was Corey. He's just super fun, obviously, to chat with, but this is just as cool. I always have a blast talking to you, both of you gals. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Awesome.
Well, our first question is, of course, you are possibly still in the midst of finishing filming for the most recent season of Ghost Nation. So can you tell us a little bit more about when that's coming out and what you're most looking forward to?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for asking. That's very cool. Yeah, we are, as you know, obviously the whole country pretty much got shut down. Everybody obviously is very well aware of that. And so did we. Back in March, we, Travel Channel and the production company, and we all decided that it would be best to, not contribute to the problem and hide ourselves away. So we did that. And we're very fortunate that we've been able to resume production now. So we filmed I think it was 7 episodes for season 2. We were able to get out of, before we were shut down, and now we're filming the rest of them. We're pretty deep into it. I think we've already filmed 3 or 4, and we have a bunch more to go. Heading to Middle Country right now, somewhere around Indiana. Yeah, and filming during this pandemic is very different. We have to wear masks, obviously. We stay in a very tight bubble with just, Jason, me, Tango, Sherry. So when we're together, when we talk on camera, we do take our masks off, but, we're not going to historical, places to really dig into history because they're not open. They're not allowing anybody to get to the records. They're coming and out. So we've been doing that all through like Zoom chats and phone calls and conference calls, and so we're still able to do the deep dives into the research and sleuth things out and figure out these mysteries. But it is a slightly different, a bit of a learning curve. But everything has been fantastic. We've caught some amazing stuff, some really cool evidence. And, we've been able to help some people, which on this show, Ghost Nation is, our sort of mission statement there to help people through the truth. Whether it's a ghost or not a ghost, as long as by the end of it they're cool with what's happening, that's all we care about. So thanks for asking. Yeah, and in terms of when they start airing again. I don't think there's been a hard date set, but we do know fall. So
Okay, that's not so far off.
Which is coming up, pretty soon.
Yeah, it's already August. It was just March yesterday, so I don't know. Like this year has just gone by so quickly. Yeah. So I like this question from Jane, and it was actually similar to my next one. So we'll ask this one. What is your favorite location from the new season?
Oh,
like what you're allowed to tell us so far.
Yeah, sure. Let's think. With this, when we were filming, we were very much in private residences, but one thing that, the pandemic has allowed us to do is get into some places that we would like to investigate where it's not just a private residence, so we've been to a few really large mansions, haunted mansions, that sort of place. We revisited one of our favorite places and caught some really spectacular stuff, and even, this is cool for us, but fixed a little bit of their history, because if they don't have their history right, everything is, and you'd be surprised at a lot of these places that do tours and, tout things as historical fact doesn't really have historical fact. We've been able to fix that a bit, which is really cool. But a favorite place, yes, actually. But I don't know how much I can say, to be honest. We went to a place. It's going to be, I think, our special or something that we visited once before, and it was absolutely just so much fun. And so, Jane, you'll know the place I'm talking about when you see it, because we've been there before. And I know the Jane that asked that question, and she knows every episode we've ever done. She knows places that we've done that we forgot we've done that never even made it to episodes. So it's like, how do you even know that? No one knows when you went there. But you should know. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I can say the name of the place.
No. We're not here to get you in trouble at all. That's not the point. But what about, like, what's been your favorite part about filming this season so far?
That's a good question. My favorite part about this half of the season has been the creative side of how we get our job done through a pandemic. Because not the days of doing these type of investigations are over, but with this particular show, we don't really want to just go into X haunted asylum because everyone thinks it's a haunted, because most likely that gentleman or woman already knows her place is haunted. She doesn't care that it is. He doesn't care that it is. He doesn't need help. So we're not really helping anybody. So how do we still, be able to investigate when we can't really be around people or around clients and that sort of thing? And as much as we're being very careful, we're still not going to break those rules, because it's not fair to anybody. I would hate if, we agreed to take on a case and we ended up in somebody's house, and, they got sick and passed it on to the mother because one of our, crew members was asymptomatic or something. But they're very careful with, we're tested once a week. We have to take our temperatures 3 times a day. They're very, very thorough with, Travel Channel and Discovery Channel. They're not messing around. They've let us go out, but we have to be very, very strict. We have to stay in our bubble. We all have to sign documents, all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah. But
Danica, sorry. I was going to say, Danica, before you go to your next question, weird question, Steve, that I was just thinking of as you're saying this. Do you feel like the paranormal are reacting differently? Like, do they know that something is going on with our world? Oh, gosh, what did I hit on?
Because we've actually been bouncing that around amongst ourselves, because say you're in a place like a large mansion that does historical tours, right? You're used to, say you're an energy there, or a presence, or however you want to label it, a personality, a person, a ghost, whatever. And you're used to having, 100 people come through every day, and that energy, and all of a sudden now for 3-4 months you haven't had anybody. They could be like, people, holy shit, they could be like that, or it could be the opposite. They could be like, oh, people again, let's go hide,
Yeah.
But I do think that there is, it's hard to tell if there is a conscious thought behind it, like, oh, something weird's going in that physical plane, and it looks like a pandemic, and they're all in a who knows if that's what's happening. But it does seem like that. And I'm only saying this because the places we've been, we've had such a high degree of activity, really, that it just seems that way, and we've gotten some interactions and some direct responses with some things that'll be coming up on these episodes that, seems to be scratching their heads like, what's going on? Like, where did everybody go? Like that kind of thing. But it's hard to say, exactly what's going on, because nobody knows what's happening on that, I'll call it the other side. Nobody does. People can pretend they do, but do they? No. Nobody knows. How can you know? So we're trying to figure it out.
And Jane actually had another good question. She wanted to know if there's any new equipment in season 2.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There is some. We've been using this new sort of radar piece of equipment that can track different movements and energies. And for a while, because a lot of these devices will only pick up something that has mass, physical mass to it, right? Something that you could point a laser at and it will stop the laser beam, the light beam, right? But we have some detection equipment now that can see and pick up on things without mass. And that's pretty important because who's to say that energy has mass? Nobody does. You can, accumulate enough of it, but if you accumulate enough of it, science would tell you that it should cast a shadow, so if it's not casting a shadow and it's, then it's not accumulated enough, that sort of thing. Unless it's a flame, but flames don't have mass. Isn't that weird?
True.
Yeah. Like if you turn a lighter on up against a wall, there'll be no shadow from the flame.
Huh.
So it's sort of like that sort of thing. How can you visually detect something if it doesn't have mass? And we've been fortunate enough to pick some of that, some brains of some physicists and get some leeway there. So you'll be seeing that come up. New equipment is tough because, we don't want to test it on the show. That's not fair to the viewer. So we test it off camera, and when it's at a point where we feel like it's, reliable enough, we introduce it. But it's a tough, we have all kinds of stuff that we have behind the scenes that, we're constantly working with. But yeah, and I'll remind people this, if there is a device out there that you see used and it's not used by us, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. Whether it's, I don't know the reason. Well, I know the reasons, but I'm not going to, a lot of people have a lot of faith in certain things, but if you don't see us using it, there's a reason for it.
Very fair.
Well, the next question I had is kind of a two-parter. So what would you say are the peak time and maybe conditions for ghost hunting? And, because a lot of paranormal investigators will say, the witching hour, you got to do the 3 o'clock thing, or is it just at night? Is it, what are the best conditions that you would say?
Sure. There actually is no case study that pinpoint a certain time of day or night, right? The 3 a.m. thing, it stems way, way back to early spiritualism, midnight to 3 a.m., that sort of thing. And, it was really kept being popularized by Ed and Lorraine Warren. They were really keen on that 3 a.m. time because that's when they got that footage of the white lady and the whole thing, But there's no real case study that says that's the case. I will say that if you're looking at it in a scientific sort of side of things, the cloud wall is much lower at night, which could trap more energy between the Earth's surface, which would, act as a conduit and maybe allow things to happen more often. People are inside a lot more during those hours, maybe seeing more. I think those sort of things help play to that 12 to 3 a.m. thing more than actual factual data. We find it happens day or night. Like, for instance, on our, in Ghost Nation, we will investigate, and on Ghost Hunters we did, in the same time that the client had the experience. So if they had the experience at 4 p.m. when they were sitting on their couch, then we're going to investigate in the living room at 4 p.m. and see what happens. If it's 2 a.m. and the TV was on, the outside light was on, and it was dark outside, we recreate those conditions, turn the outside light on and turn the TV on, because you want to see exactly what they're experiencing. And that's mostly just to help us, disprove things, because a lot of times things are misinterpreted. But yeah, it happens day and night. There are a lot of reasons why you investigate more at night, but mostly it's the activity seems to happen. People are reporting it more at night. Another thing is, if you're able to use night vision and turn lights off, now you can see things in the infrared spectrum with your night vision that you can't see with your eyes. So you're seeing other spectrums now when when you turn off all the lights, and that's a real reason for doing it in the dark. Is now you can see, if you use a full spectrum camera, you can now see in many, many spectrums, including the visible spectrum. So you're seeing all spectrums visible to your eye, as well as spectrums that aren't visible. So why would you investigate in the daytime? If only if the clients say it happened in the day would you do that.
Good answer.
So I actually really like this question from Kathy, and there's a couple other people in the chat talking about it. And so she was wondering if you're hearing from more people now that things have been happening since people have been home more due to the pandemic versus maybe they were out for work or something. Now they're home. I don't know. Any thoughts on that, Steve?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. That when people are home more, and in places that are supposedly haunted, they think are haunted, you're going to have a big uptick in reports and that sort of thing. We see that in the winter. We see that certainly around Halloween. Everybody is, and it's really not that. There are no. I don't personally think there are any spirits running around being like, we got to wait till Halloween to, why?
That would be me and Danica. We would wait till Halloween.
But I don't think they have, October on their calendar saying, oh, we can't talk to them now. We got to wait until October, but they died more, and they're, doing things indoors. They're not going outside in the cold, and plus at Halloween they're tuned into that. It's sort of like, say you want to buy a Tesla car, right? And now all of a sudden you see a Tesla every turn you take. There's or you want to buy a Ford Explorer or something. You don't remember seeing one for years, and now there's a Ford Explorer at every turn, every stoplight coming at you, and it's sort of that sort of phenomena.
Are you saying I'm getting a Tesla, Steve? Because I could totally use a Tesla.
You should. You should. They're amazing cars. I don't have one, but you should.
We'll all get Teslas collectively. Okay, so what advice would you give to someone that maybe wants to start investigating the paranormal?
That's always a tough one, only because it kind of depends on what aspect they're looking to go into. There are a lot of people who want to get into the paranormal field, but could care less about television. There are a lot of people who, are the opposite, want to use the paranormal to get into television, that sort of thing. And there are a lot of different. It's very hard to, make it a career unless you are very fortunate to, have a television show or something that has lasted quite some time. But if you are looking to get into the field, whether it be as a career or just as an enthusiast or a hobbyist or whatnot, I think starting off with understanding energy is the best place to start. Yeah. Paranormal theory, of course, you want to know all the different things that you can or can't run into and things that can or can't happen. But understanding energy, particularly particle physics, will send you into the next level and give you a good baseline for what you're experiencing. I personally thought that when I steeped myself into particle physics that it would, disillusion me when it came to the paranormal, or sort of make me not believe in it as much, but it actually has made me believe in it more, scientifically. So since I have been, really looking at particle physics, and I keep in my head, if it disobeys the laws of science or physics, then I'm either misinterpreting what I'm seeing or experiencing, or it's in my head, And I don't mean in my head like I'm crazy. I just mean, believe it or not, your brain can put images, telephonic sounds, audiophonic sounds. It can put imagery in your brain, and your subconscious will trick your conscious, and you'll think it's real even though it's not. That's 100% real medical science, and it can happen, especially people who are sleep deprived. They're like marathon runners who, at the end of their marathon, because they only get like 30 minutes of sleep a night over the course of, so they'll see like beavers and animals, like, you gotta go to the finish line. They'll straight hallucinate. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Well, that's all from like sleep deprivation.
Man, I want a beaver to give me life advice. How do I? As long as he's not angry.
That actually, I'm going to jump around a little bit in terms of our questions that we were going to ask, because that kind of leads me to, what is your response to skeptics? So I've actually recently been watching BuzzFeed Unsolved, which is really fun. And all of their paranormal stuff, they've got one guy who really believes all of the everything, and one guy who's a complete skeptic about pretty much everything. So what is your normal response to skeptics who say, oh, ghosts definitely don't exist and you're never going to get me to believe it?
That's their opinion. I don't think that because I believe in the paranormal that anybody else should. I think it's a healthy mindset. I love Jason. I love Dave Tango. He's my best friend on planet Earth. I love him more than anyone else who's not blood related. And still, if he comes up to me, Steve, this just happened to me, I don't think he's lying to me. I don't think he's misinterpreting, but okay, I need to see that for myself. It's a fantastic thing to just take at face value, and so I don't blame a skeptic. I think it's a good mindset to have. I think you should think that way. I don't think that because someone tells you they saw a misty figure come down their stairs that you should believe them. I think that that's something that needs to be under scrutiny, and it should be looked at under a microscope because it's just there are no facts in what we do. So it needs to have skeptics. I think it's a very healthy mindset. I consider myself a skeptic, or at least a skeptically minded investigator. But I'm not a skeptic at all, because a skeptic is a person who has an agenda, right? I don't have an agenda. I don't care if you believe or don't believe. A skeptic doesn't believe, but also is trying to get you not to believe, So I don't have an agenda there. So I wouldn't consider myself a skeptic, but I don't believe in much. I believe in what I see and what I hear. And I think other people should probably think that way as well when it comes to the paranormal. But don't, it gets tricky when people will not to believe so much that they are doing themselves a disservice. They will just be so staunchly against it that they don't even open themselves up to, the possibility. But so many things were, discovered that nobody really knew about until, skeptics didn't believe that microwaves existed until a chocolate bar melted in some dude's pocket, it all it all comes from, we just have to give it time. But I think it's important. It's a good question. I think there should be skeptics. Just don't be jerks.
Uh-huh. That's a good life advice. Just don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk. Danica, did you want to circle back, Danica?
Sure. All right. So for people who haven't seen it yet, please go watch The House in Between, because, oh my God. But we were curious about if you have any updates and, if you could tell us about what the support has been like for the film, or if there's possibly maybe a follow-up that might happen eventually.
Well, we're very fortunate, myself and Kendall, the co-director and the other executive producer, and also the director of photography. And we're both very, very fortunate that the film did very well, very well received. We were the #1 documentary in the world for, I think, 3 or 4 months.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Somehow we tackled the horror chart as well, which, for me, a crazy horror fan, to see it's a documentary, but to see my movie in at the top of the horror, I was like, what is happening?
That's amazing.
Yeah, did very, very well. But a part 2, it all depends on Miss Alice, and the house and where it goes and how it would be up to her. And of course, if it's not like you can just go make a documentary. It costs a lot of money, and there's a lot that goes into it. And it's a 2 or 3 year process. It took us 2.5 years to film and edit The House in Between. And so it's a long process, and I think Miss Alice, it would be up to her if she wanted to continue. What part of the documentary, part of it was to get eyes on what is happening at the house, to be continued, to be researched. Because she even said in the documentary, one of the reasons she doesn't want to sell it is because she's afraid that whoever bought it from her wouldn't open it up to research, and they would never figure it out, and she would never get answers, and always be terrified that stuff's going to come follow her. But it's in a good place right now. I miss those guys. I haven't seen them in a while. But yeah, thank you. It did really, 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 really good. I'm pretty sure it took the #1 paranormal documentary of all time.
Wow.
Most watched, at least.
That's amazing. That's so great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We're very fortunate, and I'm just glad people liked it. Because it was coming from the world of the paranormal. It would have been very easy to just make a paranormal documentary that was scary and ghosts everywhere and the music and have all this and that and and people. There are some people who want that. Who want the big ghost scares and the paranormal evidence, and this documentary just isn't for them, because it's not what it's about. It's there, but the paranormal is just sort of like the antagonist. It's the background noise. It's really, I wanted to tell a story about somebody who's going through a haunting and what they deal with the people who live in the town, and how not everybody believes in this stuff. I mean, you see the people in the documentary are like, ghosts, what are you talking about? Get out of here, buddy. Like they're not into it. They don't believe in it. They don't want it in their town. So I wanted to showcase that and show that, real science can be used to sort of help dispel some of the myths and some of the things surrounding the paranormal, or to, affirm such things. I actually, believe it or not, we were always toying with this theory of, limestone and minerals and rock deposits holding energy, and can it be released and all this, and maybe that's, how residual type of hauntings may have come about, that sort of thing. But, it was just, who knew, speculate. There was a small documentary and book called The Stone Tape Theory. It was, I think, from the 70s or 80s or something, that dealt a little bit with that theory. But for the first time, I had actual physicists tell me, actually, large mineral deposits can hold energy and hold, and even release that energy, which I didn't know if I believed that until then, and we always also messed around with the theory that running water could create energy to, but you see Dr. Dye right in that documentary say it's a law of science. The Earth cannot produce its own charge. So you guys can think that all you want. That's not true. That's a subjective truth. That's not an objective truth. That's, you can think it, but that doesn't make it true. And so to be able to dispel that was pretty valuable too. So getting to the bottom of some things in the paranormal field was pretty important to me. And I think we did. I hope a lot of investigators stopped looking for running water under buildings and stuff. If the water is already charged, something can draw from that, perhaps. But it'd be pretty easy to tell if it's charged. Just stick a little, tap tester in it.
So clever. Okay, so I say, Danica, let's ask one more question each, and then we'll play the game.
Oh, games.
So, Danica, you want to ask one, then I'll ask one?
Oh, sure. So we haven't gotten to talk about this before, so we wanted to get to know a little bit more about Perpetual Doom. So, and let's talk about, so how long have you been playing drums, and how did you get involved with the band?
Wow, that's I've played drums my entire life, as long as I can remember. I played drums, played in bands through my entire teenage years, and all through my 20s up until we started filming Ghost Hunters. I was in blues bands, metal bands, whatever you can. I was in a rockabilly kind of band. A lot of different death metal, and metal is my personal favorite genre of music. It always has been. So I may be a Catholic and love Christ and love all kinds of different things, but the blacker the metal, the more blood, the better for me. So Perpetual Doom, we formed when I think I was 17, maybe 18.
Oh my gosh.
We we didn't, but I think it was Phil, who's one of the singers, the lead singer there, who had another metal band, All That Remains, or maybe it was Ken. One of them were like, hey, we should re-record some of the songs. I think people will dig it, because we did gain some popularity. At the time, everything was very much straight death metal: Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel, Deicide, Obituary, my favorite, Carcass. Like, not that it matters, that's amazing, it's what I love, but we were putting in hardcore, we were putting in funk, we were putting in jazz back tempos, we were doing different things, and we didn't dress metal. I remember showing up to a concert in Maine. We were playing a show, and these guys came up to us and like, what are you, they called us preppies at the time, like, what are you preppies doing here? And like someone came up and was like,
Zach Morris?
Boom, man. Yeah. And they were like, oh, so we had like sweaters on and shit. We were as metal as they come. But yeah, that's Perpetual Doom. We death metal band. Yeah, and it was fun to play again with those guys and record some songs. And we're slowly going to put some out and let people digest them. And so if you're into death metal or metal at all, Perpetual Doom, that's the band, and it was a lot of fun.
Like, your drumming is insane, man.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No drums, like that double bass is going insane, and it is so hard to keep up. And I'm just like, my mind is kind of blown. I'm like, that's Steve.
We know him.
Double bass and all that stuff. It sounds way more daunting than it is, because anybody that can have it's called a click track. Heather, you sing, the click track,
So does Danica. So Danica is like, whoo.
Yeah. You know what a click track is. You just practice to that and slowly build up your beats per minute, and next thing you know, you're up there doing that.
Unless you're like me and you're completely uncoordinated, and your left and your right go click, click.
Yeah.
At first, but then you'll do limb independence exercises, and you'll split your brain into 4 hemispheres, and you'll be fine.
Sure. Well, on a side note, I wanted to mention, Alice Cooper, who's one of my favorite artists of all time, is also a very religious and spiritual man. And, a lot of people are, you look at him and you're talking about blood and metal and all that. And, you can be both, you can, be religious and listen to whatever music you want. There shouldn't be any limitations on what you play and what you listen to. I mean, just be you, right?
Do you think God or Jesus is intimidated or threatened by some death metal song? It's like, no.
He probably wants to be in the band. Like, get him in there.
That's really cool. I know Alice as well.
Oh yeah, he's amazing. I got everything's backwards. There's one of my, she's poison. He signed my arm. Oh yeah, love the man. All right, so we'll do one more question before we get to this game. And so, Steve, recently you've been talking a lot about Danica and one of our favorite musicals, which is of course Hamilton. Ooh. So yes, fan.
Oh, Heather, God have mercy. I was one of those idiots that was hesitant. As much as I love musicals and theater, and Danica, we've talked in depth about, I was hesitant. I'm not sure why. I just didn't buy into the hype. I saw, the Harry Poppins movie and Lin-Manuel. He didn't like grab me for whatever reason. So I was just, okay. And then I saw it, and within 10 minutes, I was in tears. Within a half hour, I realized I was the biggest dope on the planet. Within 45 minutes, I knew Lin-Manuel was a genius who's on Earth for a reason. He's here to do exactly that. And like, it blew my mind. Blew my brain apart. Leslie Odom Jr. is my spirit animal. Like,
thank you. Like, so Danica's been messaging me about this soundtrack since it came out. She's like, oh my God, you have to listen to this. And I was like, I was one of those people, kind of like you, Steve. I was like, okay, like it exists, it's out there. And then when I watched on Disney Plus, I was like texting Danica the whole time, and I'm like, how is this real? Why do I care so much about Alexander Hamilton? Like, why do I care? But I care. But Steve, have you decided, or we won't make you pick just one, but do you have a favorite song?
Oh, it's fluid for me. Right now, I've been really into say no to this and wait for it. And you know what? As corny as it kind of sounds, I really like, because it's a lot of people's favorites, but I really, really like Battle of Yorktown, World Tournament. Like, I don't know what it is, just the rhythm of it and the everything, the, you know, depth like a memory. It just, I don't know. I don't know. I love it so much. What about you guys? Give me your favorites.
Oh gosh. Okay, so maybe Satisfied. And I love anything that the King sings, so he can do no wrong. We say the price of our love is the price you're not willing to pay. Well, actually, Steve, do you want to be our Aunt Peggy? Ready? Okay, here we go. Angelica, Eliza,
and Peggy. I'm not the best Peggy.
I thought that was a perfect. I don't think we could have casted it better, but thank you, Steve. Danica, do you have a favorite song?
Oh, I go back and forth so often because a lot of times it's my shot. I also love the cabinet battles.
Oh.
But still, Wait For It is probably like it's right up there, especially if you check out the a cappella version when they're all just like standing in a circle on the stage. It's from a rehearsal. Just chills every single time. Love me some Leslie Odom Jr.
Well, hopefully once Broadway reopens, I say the three of us, we go. We're going to go see Hamilton live. Can we plan it?
Yeah.
So I this is going to sound crazy, but like, so a previous guest that we've had on our show, I don't want to drop a name, but so one of his friends, Dan, you know what I'm talking about, right, Danica?
Danny?
No. Okay, so Batista, one of Batista's friends is currently like in the live cast.
Oh, yeah.
So like we know a guy that knows a guy. So hopefully we can get tickets. Let's hope.
I also know
Right, so.
that do work on Broadway because I've been a theater nerd my whole life, and so like I know people that are actors and stage managers and all that kind of thing. So I'll just be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, like if you could just, we don't even need the front row. We'll take like the second or third, just whatever's available. Balcony, I don't care. But so this kind of transitions into this game that Danica created. So Danica, take it away. Go right ahead.
All right, apologies in advance. So we are playing Ghost Story, the musical. So the idea here is we're going to show you a picture of a famous ghost. And I was very thorough about this because we made sure that it's not a ghost who already has like their own musical, like Gordon, or Ghost the movie, the musical,
or Beetlejuice.
So the idea here is we'll show you a picture of a famous ghost, what we could find, and we have to come up with what their basically the I Want song for their musical would be.
I see. And when you say "I want" song, what does that mean?
Think of like My Shot, where it's it's their preeminent song. That
Their moment, yeah.
About. Yeah, this is their future looking forward. This is everything for them.
And we can help you out, Steve. So we're not here to like hang you out to dry. So we're here to help.
Happy to help.
All right, Danica.
All
right, our first ghost is Lady Bathory.
Ooh, gosh.
What would you sing about most?
And it could be any genre of music.
Oh yeah.
Pounded into Dust by Cannibal Corpse.
Okay, that works.
Or Bone Crusher, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Very, very fair. All right. So here's the next one. And keep in mind, Steve, we can also create our own song. So like we can come up with whatever titles we want. So for the next one, it would be what would the Casper song be?
Like for my example that I was going to give was Lady Bathory. I came up with Not Enough Blood in the Tub.
That's good. Not enough blood in the tub. There is not enough blood in the tub. I don't know. Okay. So let's see. For Casper. Oh man.
Ooh. Okay. For Casper.
Let's think. I mean, there's a couple key points. So we can also cast. He has two incredible uncles. which I feel like could be portrayed by Nathan Lane and Martin Short. So Stinky and Stretch, right? This is where I'm going with this. So let's see. Something about pneumonia, maybe, right? Or like a sledding incident.
Gosh, this is a tough one. I mean, looking at her face and Casper, maybe I don't know. He looks like he's being taken by surprise. Gosh, I feel like he wants to be living. So maybe get me a body. Get me a body. Casper, give me a body. I'm sick of the real bullshit. I mean, maybe he's not. It'd probably be cool to go through walls and stuff. But if he's making friends with all living people, get him a body.
Get me a body. That's it. That's the song.
Lauren in the comments came up with "Can I Keep You a Love Song?"
I do love that one. I do love that. That is great.
That's awesome.
All right. Here's the next one. Oh God.
Snap. Oh gosh.
Okay, the Snapchat ghost. What would it?
Oh gosh. Verify me. Verify.
Ice cold.
There's also like, I think you can see a story for like 10 seconds. So maybe like 10 seconds of, I don't know. I don't know where my mind's going with this one. Same. All right. Yeah. What's the next one?
10 seconds.
Oh yeah, here's a great one for Vlad the Impaler. Vlad Tepesh.
Gosh. Throw it in my sack. I'll save it for lunch. That's his song. He ate so much. He's done. And he's saying, throw it in my sack. I'll eat it tomorrow for lunch.
I feel like this. I feel like that song would be a rap too. Am I right? Like in kind of getting that genre, like almost like Hamilton, but about Vlad the Impaler.
Right.
I am not throwing away my lunch. No, I am not. I don't know. Okay. Anyway. Danica, you did this. Sorry, you did this. All right.
I'm very happy about this.
All right, the Headless Horseman song.
The Headless Horseman. Oh, my God. That's a good picture of the Headless Horseman.
It is. It is.
Where's my damn head?
Oh, yeah.
Where's my dang head? D-A-N-G.
Yeah, where's my dang head? And maybe we can get Pumpkinhead to like write a song or like okay, so hear me out. John Cena plays the character and it's You Can't See Me. I don't know because he doesn't have I don't know. It's really bad. I apologize for that. All right.
I can't see you. You can't see me. No.
Yeah. Really stupid. Okay. Here's the next one.
All right. Oh yeah, Bloody Mary.
Ooh, Bloody Mary. Get me out of this fucking mirror. That's her song.
The first thing that just came to my mind was say my name, say my name.
No one is around. That's good. Or how about once, twice, 3 times a Mary? Yeah. He's like, Steve is shaking his head. He's like, get out of here. He's like, I cannot endorse this.
I said the F word though. Is that okay? I feel awful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, you're totally fine.
No kids.
No, you are more than fine. I promise. I promise. All right. We've heard way worse, Steve. All right. Here's the next one.
Corey.
We have Resurrection Mary.
Oh yeah. She's the one who's the hitchhiker that keeps going. She like comes in and out in Chicago.
Resurrection.
People's cars, and then she vanishes.
Huh.
Cool.
I'm not just another lady in white.
Aww.
Not just a lady in white. Not just.
I love that.
I like that one too. All right, here's the next one. We got Poltergeist. Now I feel like this would just be a visual, like, it would be so great. We like Danica. Help me out here. Like, what would the stage lighting be for something like this? How do we do it?
I mean, if you take a cue off of what's happening already, you've got that nice, like, incandescent that's happening, filtered through all the white. So yeah, you got to light it up like white hot like that. It's great.
Yeah, I want to see this production.
I'll write it.
Yeah, and I feel like Hugh Jackman would be really great as the Poltergeist, is what I'm feeling. I know he's coming back from Music Man, So I don't know. What would the song be, Steve?
Too soon. Music Man is what got Beetlejuice kicked out of their
I
court.
know.
I love Music Man. I'll probably go see it. Let's think here. How about this house is not clear?
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
yes. Chills. I love that.
I actually know Broadway lyricists, so I can actually talk to them and be like, hey, listen, we're working on Poltergeist the musical. This house is not clear.
This house is not clear. Nope.
All right. What do we have next?
Oh, yes. Boo the Mario Ghost.
Oh, wow.
Maybe a more fun, upbeat.
Yeah.
Good Mario Ghost. Whoa. I know. I don't know.
Oh.
Who's the Mario Ghost?
It was right there.
How about it's gonna be something with Princess Peach, maybe.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, don't look at me.
Ooh, the Mario Ghost. God. Oh no, wait, that's Zelda, Princess Peach. Mario is.
No, it's no.
Mario.
Yeah, that's Mario.
It is.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be. Move over, Mario. I'm coming for Princess Peach.
Oh, look out.
Yep.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
And this might be our last. Oh no, we have a couple more. Okay. Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Now
This can be with or without Nicolas Cage. He does not have to be involved in the Broadway production.
He should not be. I don't believe he can sing.
Man. That's a good one too. Ghost Rider. It's getting hot in here. I think Mel would write the song for Ghost Rider.
I was thinking like Grease too, like I need a cool rider. Or, like, I need a ghost rider. There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Highway to Hell. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could that one. Highway to
Okay.
Hell.
I can hardly wait. Good, Melody. Good.
What's
Great.
next?
All right. Yes.
Oh,
and
this
of
is our
course,
last
This is our
one.
last one. Slimer.
Slimer. Oh man.
He's in everyone's heart.
Yes.
I mean, you could take Feed Me Seymour from Little Shop.
Mhm.
Maybe do Feed Me Slimer.
Mhm.
Oh no, because Slimer's not feeding anybody. Slimer's getting fed.
Mhm.
Feed me, I'm Slimer. No, I've been slimed. You're going to be slimed. You're getting slimed. Slime off. That's his name. Slime off. Slime off.
That was fun. Very enjoyable. Oh,
Watching
like
that,
I
that line of logic, how that followed was, that was delightful.
Was it logic or was it?
I mean, it was a train of thought.
Oh man.
do you guys remember when they used to have the Ghostbusters Spectacular at Universal Studios?
Wow.
Did you ever get to see that, Steve?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, it was so cool. They did like a live production with the Ghostbusters and Zool, and they projected everything on the library. I'll have to send you some like old footage from it because it's amazing.
I totally missed that. Tango and I used to do Halloween Horror Night commercials at Universal. We did 4 of them. We'd do a signing there in Orlando, and then we would film a commercial for them, and then we would go through all the houses and all the stuff. And I've never seen the Ghostbusters one. Was it there between 2006 and 2011, say?
So the library is still standing. I believe it's part where you go through the Rip Ride Rocket. I believe that's where the library was. Right, Danica? Does this sound about right to you? But I believe that they got rid of it before that. They get rid of all the good
that
stuff.
May have been like 2004-ish. That may
Yeah,
have been because I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't think I went after 2005. So.
Oh, but well, we kept you past how long we said we would, Steve.
Oh.
I apologize.
Don't be sorry. It's always a blast, and I'll come chat with you guys anytime.
Yay.
Well, we would love to have you back. So, any final thoughts you want to leave us with here today?
Yes, stay healthy. Be nice to other people. Tell your parents you love them. Wear a mask. And Ghost Nation returns in the fall on Travel Channel. Wednesdays still, 9 p.m. And thank you, everybody, for checking this live stream out. A lot of fun. You guys are really, really cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Stephen.
So honored to have you every single time. It's just, you're just wonderful.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're one of our faves, so we'll bring you back for number 4 whenever you're available.
Hey, please. I'd love it. Don't forget Hamilton. I'm in.
I'm not going to forget. Danica, are you going to forget?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
We're there. And let's dress up.
I mean, obviously.
All right.
Heather and I will dress up for anything.
I'm going to be the bullet. I call the bullet.
Ooh,
Steve,
that's a good one.
Yeah, Steve, do you want to be King George? Like, do you want the
Yes.
the fancy? Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
That's all I'd have to do.
Yeah.
Wait. I feel like we should do the chorus before we sign out. Can we?
Okay.
Or Danica and I. Okay, so it's gonna go. Da 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 da. Something like that. We did it.
Terrible. You guys were great.
You were wonderful,
It's
fantabulous.
all
All right,
right,
well,
not in sync at all. That's
yeah, it's all right. Technology, it's a blast. But all right, well, on that note, we will see you guys real soon. Next week, we have Josh Petersdorp, Zane Riley, and Milo Beasley. And we will see you guys next week. So everyone, be safe. Make sure you guys wear a mask and wash your hands, and we'll see you guys real soon.
Yeah.
Goodbye.